Good morning. Yeah, there's a lot of things gapping up this morning, man. Had this damn oxy pinned all the way at the bottom. Okay. Can you pop? Can you pop? Good girl. Yeah, PDD. Yes, there's a lot of them. FSLR, EMPH. A lot of these names look good. I mean, I wish they weren't gapping up over this little, neckline or previous day's high. I'd like to be buying through the previous day's high, so I'm not going to just rush and start buying anything, just opening up a bunch of exposure right away, but there's a lot of charts that look good. This DV possibly. Even though I grabbed it yesterday, I just wasn't stopped out. This BSM looks pretty interesting on the daily, just maybe a bit thinner. FSLR, right over yesterday's high, it's gapping. So NBIX is another. I don't know, maybe a little quiet inside day today would be awesome for this name. Netflix would be perfect. I had an alert right over yesterday's high, but obviously it triggered first thing this morning on no volume. This wolf, possible downtrend break setup, low cheat. I mean, another nice one, but we'll see. I would have wanted to have bought through yesterday and the previous day's high. I would have wanted to buy through that line, but now it's gapping up over. So, and pretty much all the names I'm watching are doing the exact same thing. Snow, same deal, 175. We'll see. Tried breaking down yesterday, but held onto the trend line really nicely. But REGN and VRTX ended up being good ones. I also opened CCRN, but I kind of chased it up a little bit. Mid 30s. I might get in snow, but really what I'm seeing is it's a bunch of these biotech names and pharmaceutical names that are acting best. Like, I bought VRTX, REGN, CCRN yesterday, and it was zero headache after you bought them, pretty much. And really, I want to be in things that give me zero headache right away. And if that's the sector, then I'm going to try to figure out a way to get more exposure towards it. So, maybe Suave a little down the road. NBIX is another, a little bit down the road. Maybe just an inside day to day. But yeah, I mean, there are other names, right? PCTY and, like I said, Wolf and Suave, Snow, Netflix. I mean, there's quite a bit going on. EMPH, FSLR. So these are like little low cheat setups. These are perfect. Move up, go sideways, still building out a base, builds out this little right hand side. It's either a bear flag or a low cheat setup. So if it's breaking down, some people would say it's a bear flag. If it's starting to break back up to the upside, then nice little low cheat. So could only go one of two directions. But yeah, a couple solars look good. These biotech pharmaceuticals look good, and then a couple of these large caps have just been steady building higher lows, regardless of what the market's doing. So we'll see. Snow looks pretty good. Yeah, CCJ is still my largest position. So I was thinking about possibly even, maybe continuing to add to this position as it's working for me, on the daily. Um, that $28 level has come into play before, right in here and right in here, obviously even right in here, and then even again over here. So 28 seems to be a level. Wicked right off of it yesterday, so yeah, it's definitely there's definitely a seller in there historically on the daily, so I figured, hey, you know what? If we can get through that 28 level, I might consider adding. We're gapping through there, so I don't know. It's already my largest holding, just because of my thesis on it. So, and I'll continue to try to make it my largest holding, no matter what. But there are other names that are doing really well, and that are holding up really nicely. So we'll see. I don't want to get too stubborn, but VRTX got off to a good start. REGN off to a nice start. LLY bounced exactly where it was supposed to. CCRN's an absolute monster. We'll see. That was a nice move out yesterday. Yeah, MNTK. Yeah, I saw them a little while ago. Yeah. Yep. And I didn't even have an alert. Nice eye. Yeah, I'll put this thing on watch. It wasn't a bad, it's not a bad little chart. Higher lows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice little chart. Yeah, CCRN hit my alert. I was literally eating lunch, and it tagged my alert. I didn't have an alert set over yesterday's high, or should I say the previous day's high. Like, my alert really should have been like, 2960s, and I didn't have it set. My alert was higher, at 3040s, and then I bought it just above that. 3060s was my average. So, but I'm in. I felt like I was chasing just a little bit, but you know what? Market kind of sucks if it oversell rally, and this thing's already breaking out to new all-time highs. That's about as awesome of a sign as you're going to see. So, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I was eating lunch, and I've got my volume turned up, so I hear alerts and I come running. So I got quite a few positions open too. I'm already back to 7 positions back open, and I see quite a bit more that I could possibly see myself getting involved in, as long as the market's going to start to prove itself. At the very least for a rally. I did get taken out of SARK. It was a hedge, which in reality was a good thing, because the little bit I lost on SARK, I made up for it times a bunch on all my longs. So yeah, I got taken out of SARK yesterday. Yeah, PDD looks good. The only problem with PDD, you don't have a bunch of participation by the rest of the China names, right? Versus when you look at something like all these biotech names, yeah, DGI was another. when you look at all these biotech names, you know, it's not just one or, you know, one pharmaceutical name. Like with PDD, it's just like the only name that's going in all of China. SARK was a hedge because when SARK goes up, it's okay. So SARK is the inverse to ARKK, and ARK's a bunch of growth names. So if SARK's gonna break down, ARK will go higher, or other way around. Yeah, if SARK's gonna break down, ARK should go higher. I said it. I said it correctly. Yeah, I was looking at natural gas names, but you know, they don't look good. EQT's not ready. AR, I don't know really if CEIX. Yeah, CEIX. But yeah, what's up? Yeah, and everything's gapping up. Like Schwab's kind of, you know, or Wolf's kind of gapping up where I'd like, from where I'd like it. You know, Snow over 175 was ideal. I always like to buy through pivots. So I'm going to let the market just settle for a few minutes. And if that area will hold, you know, as support at open, then I have no problem, you know, buying it, you know, even a dollar or two higher, whatever. As long as you know what your risk is going to be when you get in, no big deal. But our market felt overdue for an, you know, oversold rally. And, you know, you see FSLR and EMPH, like EMPH, similar deal. You know, it's kind of gapping up over the area, like 289. Yeah, I like Snow too, and I like FSLR. But they're both just, everything's just gapping up over the area that I'm interested in. So I'm just going to be patient right at market open and kind of let things settle for a few minutes. I don't mind even sizing down a little bit less. Just to kind of have that confirmation that, hey, this market's is rallying a little bit more.
And I mean, also, I hate to be a broken record, but BJ just never broke down to the
Yeah,
50.
I mean, that's what strong names do. Literally. Continues to hold the 50.
Yeah.
Continues to hold the 50 on the daily. I'm going to just continue watching it and wait for a tight daily candlestick of some sort, or for some sort of range to be built, and then there to be some kind of a clear range break. I mean, the only thing I see right now is you can draw a downtrend line from the highs.
Yeah, I see that.
You know, that's about the only thing I see. But you know, we could just be patient, find a little tight day, and we might be better off.
Cool.
But you know, it's waving a white flag, right? It doesn't want to die.
It's a tennis ball.
Yeah, it's a tennis ball, exactly. So look, even if it becomes possible to get situated in the tennis ball, at least you've got your eyes on it, and if it ever gives you a clean entry, you'll be in there. If it never does, well, you know, it'll go on without you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's no, you can't feel bad about it. Some stocks just never let you in, but you know, your focus is on the right things.
Cool.
You know, at least that's the way I feel. Like when your eyes are just on a name that won't die, well, you know, you might never be able to get in safely, but it's on the right thing. Netflix
Yep.
looks good too. I drew an alert right over yesterday's high, and it's gapping up over that as well. And about 247 is the next little area that I'm looking at.
Okay, and FSLR.
FSLR, ENPH. Someone just brought up MNTK looks pretty good. Snow looks pretty good. Wolf looks pretty good. I mean, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on out there. I mean, NBIX is another. Um, yeah, there's a lot going on. Honestly, there's a, you know, FSLR will be a main watch. Both the solars will be main watches. Yeah, they don't need to be ignored. Crude's looking really nice this morning. Nice ramp up for crude this morning. Yeah, my VRTX, yeah, is looking pretty good too. I scooped it at 294 and a half basically. REGN too, which I felt like I was chasing. Didn't matter. Didn't really matter. Strongest names go out, stay out. That's what it looks like. Yeah, CCRN worked too. Yeah, things. We'll see what things end up really looking like today, but really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna let the market settle at market open. I truly, unless something is an EP, um, I don't like buying gap ups. Not for no reason. I like buying through my pivot. That's how I limit my risk. It's really simple. Above the previous day's high and through my line, it's good. Below, it's no good. And right now, you know, if you buy the gap up, your likelihood of failure is probably a little bit higher. It's harder to limit risk, and you might even have to size down a little bit if you choose to do it. So, for me, I'll just let the market settle a little bit, and if I have to pay a little bit more for it, I'm okay. I'll just take a little less size, but at least I've got that confirmation that the market wants to go higher. If it ends up failing, it ends up failing, right? But I usually like to buy through the pivot, and it's always preference. Posh, posh buyout. Yeah, but how'd you get stopped out? Had you bought it properly on 9:30, and had you bought it around 1460s, 1470s over Friday's whatever days that was high? If you bought it on Friday over Thursday's high, that's where your buy was, right in here. You shouldn't have been stopped out. 3 to 5 day momentum burst. One, two, three. Sell a piece today, and you'd be holding the rest. Really, you could have even sold some on day one after this nice percent move. It was almost 10% in a day. Should have sold, 25% of your position, and then hold the rest until day 3 to 5, and then you sell a little bit more into this pop because it's kind of an unusual gap up. Now it's opening up here. Sell another little tiny piece and keep the rest for the 10 on the daily. That's it. That's how I would have managed it realistically. You get a 10% move in a day, sell a quarter of your position. Then you get a 20% move from your entry, which is what you'd be at right now, basically. Yep, right now. 20% move, I would have sold another quarter. You'd only have half left. Yeah, that's how I'd manage it. How you do it is on you. I can't tell you how to manage your position, but it's how I would have done it. You know, this was a nice little flag. I totally passed on it, which in hindsight was the wrong move, but it was a nice little flag. It was bucking the market trend. Market was making new lowers, and this thing was just holding up. You know, so I probably should have paid attention to it a little bit more. I didn't, and but you did. So you buy the breakout, right? You got a 30-40 cent risk on your entry. Get a 10% move from your entry. You know, sell a quarter. Sleep better at night. Move the stop up to break even on the rest. Should never be a red trade after that. You know, your stop was going to be a close below the 10. And then, 3 to 5 day momentum burst is what I look for. Today's day 3, a really healthy move now, up 20%. And trim another little piece, and then you'd only have half of your original position. And then you can hold it really for a much, much, much bigger move. At first, use the 10, and then maybe in a few weeks, you'll be able to use the, because it maybe never broke below 10, then you'll be able to use the 20. And that's it. You know, or yeah, I mean that's how I would have done it. Realistically, it's exactly how I would have managed it. Yeah, I was looking at DVN, man. Fucking massive move. Massive move. I really didn't see where I would have longed this thing. You know, I was eyeing Oxy as a little undercut rally setup. DVN, I guess, could have been something similar down here, but I don't know. I had my eyes on him on the right day. Right down here is an undercut rally setup for Oxy. You know, I was literally eyeing this down here. Just because I like this area on the daily chart, that's been holding up really well as some support. This entire area for the longest time has been showing up. So, and we were eyeballing it on the right day, but I just never pulled the trigger. And DVN was even that much nicer, acting that much stronger right now. But I do have plenty of exposure. It's not like I'm feeling some FOMO over one position. Would be nice to be in, DVN or Oxy as well, but I'm not too mad about it, honestly. I got plenty working right now, which is nice. Yesterday was a cool day because it's nice when everything you buy works for the most part, minus Sark. But in a way, I'm glad it didn't work. Sark wouldn't have stopped me from my losses Sark wouldn't have made up for. I don't think it was a hedge, but wasn't such a massive position. These Bitcoin names been acting a little bit better. And Bitcoin hasn't been making new lows while the market has been showing some interesting strength. I don't really want to be early to any of these names because Bitcoin can just take an ugly dump. What's up? Yeah, solar looks good. FSLR finally, in my opinion, built out a long enough base. You know, I mean, it still feels the touch extended on the weekly, but yeah, I like FSLR. I like EMPH is this possible little. Where'd you go? EMPH with this little possible low cheats up. I wanted to buy it over 289.30s, but it's gapping up. So, you know, it's not perfect. I mean, I always prefer to buy through a pivot level. It's how I limit my risk. And, that's always my number one job. I don't really want to chase gap ups just because of the size I take. You know, I don't want to have to eat an extra 5K just because I'm wrong. Good luck, guys. Market's open.
MTC, 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 INBX, FNGR, FNGR,
Wow.
FNGR,
Alerts going off this morning for sure.
microgram,
FSLR new 52-week highs.
microgram, microgram, MTC,
Yeah, TTD stopped me out the other day too.
MTC,
Bastard.
FNGR, MTC,
Yeah, Wolf gapped up
MTC,
over that little pivot too. I wanted to buy this thing at like 109,
FNGR,
but I'm just gonna be patient.
FHC,
Got no rush to own any of these right now.
MTC, 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 FNGR, MTC, MTC, FNGR, MTC, FNGR, MTC, 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 FNHC, FNGR, 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 FNHC, MTC, ATHX, FNHC,
It's too bad, Wolf.
FNHC, FNHC,
Same with this damn TTD, man. Just had to stop me out.
FNHC,
I also could have widened my stop too. Size down just a little bit. Used a close below the 50. Never closed below the 50. That really was the other option too, and that's why I've said it before. Sizing kind of cures all.
FNGR,
Sizing kind of cures all.
MTC, MTCGR, FNGR, MTC, MTC, MTC,
Man, these bio names are really hitting my radar here, huh?
MTC. MRVI. MRVI. FNGR. MTC. FNGR. FNGR.
Well, hopefully this one sticks too. What a nice chart this one was. Just starting to break outside of that range. We'll see if this ends up sticking. Really interesting. It's far from perfect, huh? But it's Las Vegas Sands. Talk about a consolidation. Hmm.
LCFY.
Yeah, I didn't touch any of these things that gapped up. No EMPH, no FSLR for me.
FNGR.
Suave, I feel like might need a few more days. I didn't like that Wolf gapped up either. I mean, I wanted to buy through all these pivots. Frey, I had Frey on watch. I just I don't like that chart. Although it looks way better now. Way better now. Yeah, Frey's not as bad now. Like I saw this thing like when it looked like this, and I just thought it was too vertical and no setup. But then it just went sideways, found support on the rising 20, flattened out on the hourly. I mean, yeah, this is good. Again, I wish you could have bought through these pivot, right? I mean, you guys see this top? You guys see this top? You guys see that top? I want to buy as it's ramping through that pivot. Same way I just bought NBIX, right? I want to buy it as it's going through the tops, right? Over yesterday's high, over this little top, over this little top. Look at the daily, look at all the tops, That's where I want to buy as it's going through. I hate chasing gap ups, man. So see this whole area of supply? I want to buy as it's going through that. So same way I just bought NBIX. I don't want to chase gap ups like FSLR. And FSLR, if there's any one that will work, it's this name. But same reason I didn't chase EMPH. Yeah, trying to be super picky. If you were able to get Frey at the right spot, nice job. Honestly, you were able to pick it up at the right spot. Great work. But I'm gonna wait a few minutes. Like if I think that this wolf is gonna stick, and we start to get back up to the 113s, then I'll just put the $2-3 risk on, no problem. Low day's my stop, but I need to just kind of see how the market's gonna react here. Plus I already have plenty of open exposure, so. IRDM, nice gap up. Hell yeah. Probably gonna end up moving up my stop on some of these. Like IRDM will probably end up going to break even. REGN probably same deal. VRTX I'll probably give it some space to work. CCRN same deal. I'll give it some room to work. NBIX, perfect. This is a fucking awesome breakout. You know, Netflix is another. I would have wanted to buy it through yesterday's high. You know, see it all gapped up and then it all started to fade. You know, they're both stepping up, but I always prefer to buy through a pivot. And yeah, we'll figure out if Wolf will stick, and that'd be another one that I might want. But like I said, we'll just wait. We got it on watch. We could just wait. Nice.
FNGR. BLON. Fuse.
TTD, what a pain in the ass you were, man. Can't believe you stopped me out, bastard. Oh yeah. Anyone like Twinkies? Yeah, it's yeah. In this kind of market, I move my stop to break even fairly quickly. Like it also depends your sizing, right? You know, and what you think your loss is going to be if you're wrong. Like on VXR or VRTX, you know, my stop won't go to break even. I'm going to give it some room to work, but it's, you know, it's working well. I'm going to look for hopefully it to work tomorrow, and then I'll trim a little piece tomorrow or Thursday, hopefully right through 52-week highs, and then you know, I'll hold on to the rest for a swing. But the names that I just bought, like NBIX, you know, uh, uh, you know, stop's gonna remain at low of day, but you know, I was risking $1, and you know, now I'm up 4. So, you know, CCRN, how's this looking? CCRN looks just fine. Gonna give it some room to work.
UCLE.
You know, REGN looks fine. You know, I figured at this point stop could probably, realistically, I was going to use stop of low a day, right? But at this point, when something begins to work for you like this, I'm going to move my stop up not to my average, but to a close below the 10. So at this point, my loss would be smaller, right? If I'm going to have one, it'll be much smaller. It'll have to close below the 10. You know, IRDM's working really well for me. You know, my stop's going to be a close below the 10, which is now basically my average on the daily. You know, Lily, I said my stop was going to be I thought I was going to use the 20 realistically the entire time, and now it's above my average as well. So, and I'll look to add into this one also. Cigna, huh? Hmm.
FNHC. EMED. FNHC.
Oh man, NBIX, what a breakout, huh? That's a breakout right there. It's exactly what you want to see. Hopefully we don't get this little tail, top and tail, but nice chart. Oh, my shit's working well.
PBTS.
Yeah, FSLR was nice. I didn't chase the breakout. I didn't chase the gap up, should I say, at all. So if it's not one I'm going to end up being able to be in, then it's not one I'm going to end up being able to be in.
PBTS.
Yeah, I'll almost never chase a gap up. Almost never.
PBTS. COSG. COSG. West Zone. PBTS.
But right now, my biggest interest is in a lot of these pharmaceutical and biotech names, therapeutic, pharmaceutical, biotech, whatever, all in that industry group. It's my biggest focus right now. They're the names working best, right? Look at VRTX. Look at NBIX. Look at RXDX. Look at SRPT. This is another one. Look at you know REGN. I mean, I don't feel like we got to be total geniuses to figure out where money's going. Almost seems plainly obvious. Cardinal Health's another one. We don't got to be total geniuses to figure out where money's going or, you know, what sector is being supported. Just therapeutic, healthcare, biotech.
WINR.
I don't want to get too overly exposed to one sector, but it's definitely nice. And like I said, FSLR would have been nice had it gone through the pivot. I would have gladly bought it over, 138. But I didn't want to own it at 140. Not that I couldn't have sized down some. It is a nice little flag. And you know what? Technically, I could still buy it. It's this little label that I use here. It basically tells me oops. This little label up here tells me it's average daily range. What the hell did I do? It tells me it's average daily range, which is 4.5%. And today it's up 1.82 on the day. Not counting gap up. So, you could still technically buy it today. You just have to size down. Which, I mean, I might still consider it, honestly. I hate chasing these gap ups, but it'd have to be a much smaller size. Besides, I already keep opening up tons of exposure. I don't love opening up too much exposure in one day.
FNGR.
So we'll see.
FNHC. QNGY.
Yeah, like if this EMPH begins to stick and gets right back up above, these little two highs here, basically, 295. I might take it through 295 with a stop at 292. Something like that I could do as well. It's another pivot area. We'll see though. Like I said, there's still tons of names out here that are buyable. Snow, man, you bastard. You son of a biscuit. Bought it 2 days ago, got stopped out, and then of course it goes the very next day. Gotta love trading. You gotta love trading. Yeah, this is another one. If this market sticks, this is another one I'm about to own. Wolf, potential future leader here, in my opinion. Nice story. Nice story, stock.
IINX.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it sticks. Market seems to be bouncing, and some of these names look great.
INX.
This is a nice little downtrend break on the
PPCE.
daily. Nice little downtrend break. Plus, you've got this little neckline right here, right here, right here. Basically a nice little clean area of supply. Gapped up over it. Ideally, I want to buy through that, but if you're gonna hold, then I won't question it too much. Really, more important to see the market going up when you buy, and market's not looking terrible. At the worst, this might be a little multi-day oversold bounce rally, and then we'll kind of see how the names look in a few days. Yeah, it would have been nice to have been able to own Snow, and TTD, but I was in those the other day. They both shook me out.
RKFL. SJ. Mohawa. Bot.
Netflix could be really good tomorrow. Netflix could be really good tomorrow if our market continues. Starting to get tight.
Mohawa. ADTX. IINX. BKIN.
Well, yeah, I really do. I hate chasing gap ups. Only time I like chasing a gap up is when it's on news or earnings in a healthy market after it's been proven that they're working. Otherwise, I truly prefer to avoid them, but sometimes they work.
BKIN.
CCRN's a monster, man. Keep on going. Yeah, RYTM. TH is another one, too. TH is another one that's got my attention. It's a bit thin, but I would probably play it just because it's a fast mover. This RYTM over 25, 30, I've got an alert set already. I would probably own half size on something like this, maybe. Realistically.
EJH.
I mean, this is a nice tight chart. Not bad.
MTC.
PDD. Gapped over my area, too. I mean, I had an alert set on it. I was looking at it right through this little neckline here. Basically right through mid 63s, and it's the only China name that's really working, but you know, it's not ugly. It wasn't not an ugly chart. Made a nice move up on earnings, pulled back, digested the move, found support on the rising 50 and 200. I mean, couldn't ask for a whole lot more than that, but getting situated in it was pretty tough. So I don't see where. Just kind of gapped up. I don't know. Don't know how I would have gotten situated in that thing. No, I didn't play posh. It was a nice chart though. This one's too thin for me, but a BSM's a pretty nice chart too. Over these 1650s, just a touch thin for myself, but it's honestly not an ugly chart at all. Yeah, it did. So it really did. So it would have been the first hour to make a new high. Yep, 64.80. Yeah, that would have been good. A dollar risk. I definitely agree. That would have been the entry.
FNGR.
Well, these are some of these are sticking. I did end up taking FSLR, so we'll see. Same with Wolf, NBIX. Stevie's just not going.
SXTC.
Yeah, Wolf looks fine. Wolf looks cool. I took a piece as long as I felt like the market was going to go higher, and then that morning gap was going to stick. I just got myself in stop at low a day. We'll see what shakes. Same deal with FSLR. I hate chasing gap up, so you just got to size properly.
CNXA. 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 OBLG.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on TH for right now. I'll just wait. I've opened up tons of exposure. Plus, I kind of like the look of RYTM a little bit more sideways, which I prefer. A bit more sideways. TH, the supply area is, I don't. It's kind of random and haphazard. Versus RYTM, a little bit more well defined. And the average daily range on RYTM is insane. That's right. Yeah, so sizing's super important. Like, you just take less size. If I like normally would want a 200K position, I would just, take 5,000 shares instead. And no need to take, the 8 or the 10,000. Just size down. That's how you play it. But I've opened up plenty of exposure. So, and only one of these isn't really working. It's this damn DV. I mean, it's it's working, but it's just fucking slow. Yeah, just size down. Think about it relative. All right, doesn't matter. You don't have to be playing with a couple million. You just, if you're playing with 20,000, and you wanted to put 2,000 to work. All right, well, only put 1,000 to work. Same shit. It's all about position sizing. Don't worry about what anybody else is playing with. That's irrelevant. Focus on your position sizing. Focus on a healthy market. Focus on the right sector. Focus on tight setups. And I promise you, you'll be a billionaire one day. If you do this long enough and stay disciplined long enough. Anybody can get super rich trading. Just need to be in a healthy market. Just gotta be in a healthy market. Oh, dude, 19. God, I wish I started at your age, man. Snow, dude. Snow and TTD both shook me out. I mean, that's might be a crime. I was looking at this SG as well. I threw it on my radar because it made a really nice move up, and it's refused to, find lows, while the market's been struggling. And it's just been kind of, and then it built out this nice little neckline over the last couple days, right over 19 bucks. Sweet green. My girlfriend likes eating there. I don't do too well with rabbit food, but my girl likes eating there. Okay, FSLR.
XDSL.
Yeah, FSLR's looking good. Yeah, it's speeding up because hopefully it's breaking away from this base quickly. Ideally. Hopefully, same with Wolf. NBIX, a perfect breakout as well.
QGSI. QGSI.
Yeah, very nice. I waited just a little bit to get myself into FSLR, but as soon as I felt the market was sticking and going higher, I just took FSLR. I took like, 3/4 size basically, just to limit the risk from the gap up. And I opened up quite a few positions already.
LCSY.
Yeah, I would have preferred to have bought through the pivot with it. Like honestly, I would have preferred to have bought over 138. But if you're gonna pay 2.5 extra bucks, just and it's really not on earnings or on news, then it's best to just make sure that the market is gonna trend higher. Nothing wrong with being a little bit patient and waiting, 5-10 minutes at open and just kind of having a little bit better set direction. Even if the stock has to come down and fill that gap, you'll see the buyer step in at that area, or you should. Again, it's not like FSLR hasn't been this insane uptrender. Of course it has. It's super strong. It's beautiful. But yeah, there's we'll see how these end up sticking. Like I said, I'm just out here opening up hella positions. I feel like I got 10 names open, which is way more than enough in this market. And I might just end up adding to these names if these are really going to be the ones that are strong. I don't have to go looking for a bunch of other names to own. You know, I had Snow, and TTD the other day. They both shook me out. Snow shook me out yesterday morning. Literally in this flush. But, I can't let already something that's got a, $7 stop on it, turn into another $7 down. It's just not how I can do that. It's out of my hands at that point. You scalped? You scalped your positions? North? Netflix, probably tomorrow for me. Netflix could end up putting in this really nice little wick. And I mean, who knows? If this thing actually gets back through yesterday's high, I might let me set an alert there and see how that looks on the smaller time frame. Who knows? I could take maybe a little starter back through yesterday's high, and then if this starts to break out over today's intraday high, or even that 247 might be a good little ad spot. Really, the first target will be the declining 200, and then we'll take it from there. Man, seeing DVN. Well, it really just depends your entry on DVN, right? I wanted to take Oxy a couple like 5 days ago in that little undercut rally setup, and I didn't. And DVN right around the same time would have been a great entry. Would have been a great entry down at 56. But again, that had to have been like a setup that's in your playbook. Otherwise, how do you buy something that you're not accustomed to trying to buy? I passed on it and didn't take it, but damn, this was literally the best spot. Call it $58 on Oxy. DVN right around the same exact day, basically the exact same setup down in the low 55s.
WINR.
See, so like, okay, and CCRN yesterday, I kind of felt like I was chasing, with a 30.62 average, just with where my stop was. But now that I get a 10% move, so I just trimmed a tiny little piece, and you know, now it still allows me to hold a pullback, and no matter what, this trade won't be a red trade. No matter what. 10% move, I like to trim a little piece, like 20% of my position, sometimes 10 to 20% of my position. And then if it ends up going 20%, so if this thing gets to like 35, plus 36, I trim another little 20% or 25%. Then you have half your remaining position and you're trailing on these uptrending moving averages. And that's it. Take all the guesswork out of your trading. That's it. Nothing more magical than that. No need to overthink it. This CALX has just not given any kind of clean supply, and we've been watching it for a while too. It just never really gave a clean little supply area, unfortunately. Yeah, so well, when I buy something, my stop is either at low of day or at the low pivot, right? So like initially when I bought IRDM a handful of days ago, I was using 43 as my stop, and then I added a little piece yesterday, and then now essentially my stop's being moved up to break even. Under most circumstances, if it's kind of like like a rule, percent based kind of thing. So at like 10% move, I like to trim at least 10% of my position. It's all subjective, right? You're not gonna trade exactly like I am because my risk tolerance is a little different than yours. Like, you know, when you're still trying to grow an account, and you see nice green, it's tough to not take it off the table. Me, I don't mind giving it back if I just follow my sell rules. But 10%, I like to trim anywhere from 10 to 25% of my position. At a 25% move, I like to trim another 10 to 25% of my position, meaning I'll have trimmed anywhere from 20 to half of my position at least by a 20% move. Right? At that point, you've caught a nice move already, right? So like CCRN, for example, I bought it yesterday. 30.62 is my average. My alert went off at a 30.40. So I got in a couple cents after my alert hit. After today's move, I was just up just under 10%, like 9 point and some change, and I just sold literally a tiny piece right here. 33.58 sells. So I sell a tiny little piece, right? Which all I did was sell 20% of my position. And then, if I get and now my stop, I'm going to move it up. My stop's not going to be low of day like it was yesterday. My stop is going to be a close below this 10-day moving average. So instead of my stop being down at 28, it's going to be 29.80. So most likely on the remainder, if it came all the way back down and closed below that, it would be, about a flat trade. About a flat trade. But if it pushes out a little bit more, I'll sell some more. And then, if it starts to look weak on the smaller time frame like the hourly and starts to close below the 20-day on the hourly, I'll trim a little bit more. And really, that's just how I treat it. It's all subjective, based on your comfort level and your position sizing and how much size you took when you initially got in. How aggressive you got should determine how aggressive you are for your exit as well. Or making sure you get paid. Like VRTX, I haven't sold a thing. REGN, I haven't sold a thing. NBIX, the move just started, I haven't sold a thing. So yeah, it's all how do I say, it's all fairly subjective, right? It's what's comfortable for you. No, I it's a percent from my average. It's a percent from my average where I bought. Or really, it really should be a percent from the actual clean breakout spot. So, in my opinion, the breakout spot was really 29.60s, right? It's over the previous day's high. So really your percent, calculation, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been from 30.60s. It should have been from 29.60s, which means we were already closer to a 14% move. So, but I just did that little quick math from my average, which was about 10%. But again, from the actual nice clean breakout spot from the previous day's high, it was like 13.5%, which again warranted selling some into that strength. Locks a little bit up into that strength, make sure you get paid on the way up, trail the rest. Yeah, low at day stop. Yep, with FSLR. A lot of guys, a lot of the old heads, they'll just make sure they're sized in super, super well, and then it'll be a close below the 20. So instead of the stop being 140, it'll be like 132. So, knowing you've got that extra $8 of risk means, you better be taking proper size. But I won't do that shit. Not me. I'm really trying to time out my entries. So low of day is my stop. If it gets hit, it gets hit, But yeah, now I'm not as heavy in CCR and paid myself a little bit, way less of a less of a stressful trade, and look to reallocate some of those gains in other really nice setups. And
Rain. Rain.
yeah, it'd be too much.
BGTTF.
It would be too much. This is another one that I might be interested in here is EMPH, if it could hold this 295. We'll see. like I said, I've already opened up a ton of exposure today, so I don't really want to get much more aggressive. Yeah, like on EMPH, I don't mind $1.50 risk, $2 risk, but not $8. Just no need for that kind of risk, really. Then your timing's just off. That's all it is, or the market's not agreeing with you.
BGTTF.
But yeah, I got 10 positions open already. I don't, I, don't- and it's funny because like the last little bull, the summer bounce, I had 22 names open. So I don't usually like having to manage 20 names, but this DVN is a monster. Wow, two gap ups. Just talk about interest in this name. Egg or a tennis ball? I wonder. It would have been nice to have been in this name. 5,000 shares would have been sweet.
EBSC.
Yeah, you know why I like DVN a little bit more? I like Oxy because Warren's buying. I know there's a bidder on this thing, so it's Warren. Um, but I like DVN more because it's got more range, higher ADR. So basically from the low, when I was looking at Oxy, it went from 58 to 65, $7 move, versus DVN going from 56 to 68, $13 move. I mean, percent wise, that's not even close. One's up 23%, where Oxy's up 13. I mean, DVN an extra 10% in the same amount of time. That's why ADR, matters. You want to make money. DVN for the exact same position size would be paying you much more. Literally, way more. Way more. If I had taken 5,000 shares in both, it's like one you'd be up, 35 or yeah, about $7 a share, like 35 grand on, and the other one you'd be up, like 60,000 on. Big difference. Big difference. And that's why ADR matters. Same position size, and you're up almost damn near double on the other one.
TMMJ. QNGY.
Hmm. Wow.
QNGY. QNGY.
FSLR acting great. on building a pretty nice range. Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah, it's nice to see. A little bit more on the right hand side. You know, this needs a little bit more. Again, kind of gap through this little neckline, almost similar to EMPH. Would be nice to see a little bit more. EMPH, another one I'm interested in if this 295 is going to hold. I won't get aggressive with it just yet, but I might end up taking a little piece here. We'll see. I would have rather have bought down at a 289. Yeah, I have no idea.
AMHG.
FSLR can go to wherever the hell it wants, honestly. Who knows? All I know is that this name's a monster. Only thing I know for sure.
AMHG. AMHG. QNGY. QNGY.
Wolf nice. Ooh, CCRN. Unbelievable. What a monster stock.
Free. AMHG. 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 EMED.
Interesting. Yeah, Netflix back through 247. I'd be an interested buyer for sure. See what happens. Wolf, not bad. Fucking PDD, man. Woo. PDD, you son of a biscuit. I would have loved to have bought through this little pivot, man. It's just, these little like low cheat setups. And you see clear supply right here, basically. And you're just looking along it as it's breaking through yesterday's high. 63, low 63s, even through mid 63s was the perfect spot. And it's acting well. It's one of the very few China names acting well, but maybe we'll just wait for this thing to get perfect and we'll buy it over 72, or I don't know when it'll give another nice little clean pivot, but if it does, it's on watch for sure. This LNG too, holy shit, man. Some of these names are starting to look fucking amazing. We'll see. Finally, DV, get your shit together. Holy cow. Shook me out. I bought it on this day, shook me out, and then I rebought it yesterday, and it closed like shit. But hopefully today was the day. I kept being early to this thing, I guess. But my stop's still at low of day yesterday, and hopefully that doesn't ever get hit again. I like the fundamentals here. That's why I've been trying to get situated in this damn thing. This could be a big future mover. Who knows? Alright, well, just manage what we have. Nothing really else to do here. Definitely opened up plenty of exposure. FSLR, Wolf, NBIX. We'll see what sticks, what doesn't.
EMED. WINR. QNGY. Toad.
Oh, crude. Wow. What's going on here? Small cap oil names are all hitting.
Yo, Ariel.
Yo.
I'm gonna hop back on in a little bit here.
Yep. Do you think, brother?
Yep. I'll be there tomorrow morning. I just couldn't make it this morning. I was too tired.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries.
But
Sooner rather than later, this market's going to turn, and we're going to be having some good opportunities here shortly. I think.
I just want to be a tiger in the fucking woods,
That's right.
lurk, lurking.
Lurking, just waiting.
I got stopped out of Stava yesterday.
Did you? I took FSLR, Wolf, and NBIX today.
Yeah. Those are all nice charts.
So we'll see how they end up sticking. But for now they look good.
Yeah, but I hopped back into Stava today as well.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know. The chart's nice. The chart's very nice on the daily, and like the decreasing volume and the sell off. Really, I shouldn't have stopped out yesterday. It like literally bounced right off the 200.
Right off where it was supposed to, huh?
Right where it's supposed to. And you know what's crazy? I literally called it. I was like, it's gonna bounce off 40, but it dipped a little bit underneath there. So I just
ETFs.
stopped out. Took a little loser, and but I bought back in today.
Yeah, it's how it always seems to go, huh?
It seems like it.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you in a few. Yeah, DV pushed nicely. Yeah. Yeah, about time. My stop will get moved up to today's lows pretty soon. I got a 27.95 average. So sooner rather than later. It was at yesterday's low, but it'll get moved up here sooner rather than later. No trims coming anytime soon. Not on this name. I'll be patient for any trims. What's my plan with VRTX? To hold it. My stop's at low day yesterday. No trims, no nothing yet. I'd only gotten less than 3% move.
QINT. CLSHD. OBLG.
Yeah, if VRTX doesn't end up working, it doesn't end up working. Names like IRDM are working great for me. Names like Lily worked great for me, and I took a bunch of trims near the top. DV starting to work for me. CCRN's working really, really, really great for me. NBIX is working great for me. Wolf and FSLR look nice for now. So, yeah, I'm not in any rush to trim VRTX. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It just is what it is. I'm just enjoying watching this price action on DVN. It's an absolute monster. Yeah, CCRN was a monster. Literally, my alert hit yesterday. I was eating lunch. I heard it, and I was like, what the hell? What alert just hit? And I felt like I was chasing it, so I sized down just a little bit, but,
Fuel.
it's in the right space. So, it's in the right sector. Can't hesitate too much. You just got to buy the damn thing. If it's a real breakout, it pushes far away enough from your average that, you're in the driver's seat. It's IRDM2. It wasn't super liquid, but I bought it twice. So first buy, and then I widened up my stop, and then as soon as it started pushing up again yesterday, I just added and then tightened up my stop. Once I start to put on bigger size, I always start to tighten things up. I'm not going to keep a same wide stop on a bigger size. Just wait for APLS to set up the right hand side of the base. I know it got smacked the other day pretty hard, so it just needs now more time. You want to see tight candlesticks, not wide and loose. Did you talk yourself through things out loud before you started streaming? What do you mean exactly? Sorry.
WDDD. WDDD.
What do you mean by that?
WDDD. FNHC. FNHC. TXHG.
Wow. Oh, got it. Yeah, I mean, I would, I think things through out loud, like in my head, all the time. Yeah, I don't actually write them out, but yes, kind of like you mentioned, I do think my thoughts out loud, or what I think about a chart, etc. What I think about the market.
OTRK.
TV finally looks decent. More importantly, what I ask myself before I take a trade is, you know, what sector am I buying something in? How's the market looking? And then what's the setup that I'm buying? You know, how does the market look? Is it in an uptrend? What sector am I trying to buy? What sector do I feel like most money's going into right now? That's, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, biotech names, and then obviously solar, like as the runner up or even the leader. I mean, tomato. FSLR's obviously been a leader. Um, but when you own when you own REGN and LLY and CCRN and NBIX, like VRTX, you start to realize, like, man, I own a lot of these biopharma names and I'm green on all of them. So, then I ask myself, like, what sector am I buying in? What setup am I buying? Is it a nice setup? What's the current market direction? How much of something do I want to own? Holy CCRN, what the fuck? Okay. But yeah, I mean, I always talk myself through things before I, take any trades. My real concern for myself is, you know, is the market, is the market direction in my back. Because there are a lot of times, guys, I told you, you can buy like any freaking name when the market's pushing up higher. Sometimes, like really pushing up higher. That like every name is green in the market. But I don't just want to buy like any random name. If every name's gonna push up, and I want to buy the names leaving a clean, solid base. Names, displaying strength before the market bottoms, like this CCR ended. You know. Yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of other names too that I would have loved to have been situated in that I got stopped out of. Snow, but my entry would have been 175. That never happened. TTD got stopped out of this one round, which my entry was like 62s. That's kind of the one I wanted. And then I'm looking at PCTY as well. It's got a beautiful downtrend break as well on the daily. We'll see. Really over 253's got a break. But if they're already not going, by this hour, might just be a pass. But there's still a few names out there. EMPH, PCTY. Those maybe are still under consideration today, but they'll have to start. Market will have to be pushing higher, and when it does break this 253, it'll have to be on nice healthy volume. But for now, honestly, I've got so many positions open. I'm good with what I got. We'll just leave it as is. CCRN though, this thing is a fucking monster. And yeah, okay, so as example, we were talking about CCRN earlier. Not from my average, but from the breakout spot. So 29.50. I trimmed some a little bit earlier, about 50 cents lower, and then if this continues to push out today and gets to 35 and a half, basically another buck from here, I'll take some more off. Usually 3 to 5 day momentum versus what I love to shoot for, but if you're gonna go up 20%, in 2 days, I'll be sure that I pay myself a little bit more. I'll take off another 20% of the position. No big deal if it goes up another buck from here, and then all I'll have left is half of the position left, basically. Happy to have sold half after a 20% move. Happy to be out half. And then at that point, my stop's not even low a day anymore. My stop is break even. There's no reason that I should watch this thing, fall back $1.50 from my entry. It would be tough to even see this thing come back down to 30 and a half. I see EMPH. Also, thought so. Yeah, BSM's nice too. Huh. BSM not bad. We'll see what happens. Just size down a bunch, but I have to take it. I've been watching this name for too long to not buy this thing as it's breaking out of this range. Fundamentals are also solid. Super nice range, higher lows, nice little shakeout in this base, and then tennis balled right back. Tried shaking out on 9.3 and tennis balled right back. We'll see if it sticks. I didn't take full size. It's a little too thin for me, but I do want to own it.
NBIX.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, CCRN. You bought it on the 28th. Oh yeah. Okay, one of the things is too if so you bought on the 28th, you got stopped out on the 29th. You have to give the stock a chance to close below your average. If it didn't close below your average, you should maybe consider, that's why reading price action is really important. Cuz if you got stopped out very like down here, ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Nice. Yeah, we'll see if these end up sticking. I, I'm just over here continuing to add exposure. So, I mean, if things are gonna work, I'm just gonna keep buying shit. So, anything that I think's coming out of a clean little base or tight setup, or I like BSM. It also had a shake in the base. Plus, their fundamentals are rock solid. So, I definitely want to own this name. Yeah, we'll see if the MPH ends up sticking as well. So, got a couple of solars now in the portfolio, which is nice. FSLR is absolutely leading the way. Wolf looks good. NBIX looks good. CCRN looks good. DV looks good. VRTX looks okay. Everything else, though, looks pretty damn good. Literally, looks really good. Everything else looks fucking great.
PCSV.
Yeah. SPWR. Yeah, I mean, I'm good on this. Like, this doesn't really have the EMPH, this, little consolidation down here against the 50, which I much prefer. I would have wanted to buy it through 289, but through this top is pretty good too. As long as 294, 295 holds, that's cool. At this point, I'm already in, so stops at low day. Same with BSM, FSLR, Wolf. I opened up a bunch of positions today, man. NBIX, Wolf, FSLR, BSM, EMPH. 5 new positions. And they're all working. So, not going to hear me complain. In particular, this NBIX is working fucking awesome. Wolf's working really well too, actually. Everything is. FSLR is working awesome too. Everything is working pretty damn good. And we'll see. I don't want to add any more solar exposure. Those FSLR, EMPH, I believe, are the two best names in that sector anyway. So, you know, those are good enough.
Hey, what's happening
I just took BSM breakout. You should keep your eyes on EMPH over 295. I bought FSLR today. I bought Wolf today, and I bought NBIX today.
What you getting FSLR at?
About 141.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just got long BSM, right around 1660s, and I just bought EMPH like 5 minutes ago, and NBIX I caught it really well, 108 and a half.
Spies up there.
Yeah, SPY's helping. SPY's helping. But I've got a ton of exposure now, so I don't really want to do shit. Now I just, figure out what are the flowers, what are the weeds. DV's finally working for me as well, too. And CCRN. Peep that one. I bought that one yesterday at 30.60. CCRN's a monster. But yeah, man, there's nothing left for me to do here today. I got tons of exposure. 12 names open. Jesus Christ. And Snow stopped me out. Snow's back up over that low 175 pivot, which is too bad. You know, I'm watching Schwab for the next couple days. Hopefully today's a little tight day. We can buy it tomorrow, maybe. Maybe. Probably not, but we'll see. Hello. Yeah, Netflix maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Those Lily ads were nice, huh?
But, yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I wish I took more of them. 750 shares. Oh,
450 shares.
750.
Oh, 750. Nice.
I should have done a full test.
Yeah. I had done such a nice job trimming that I just, re-adding them wasn't a problem. This CCRN, holy. Yeah, any more of a push, if this thing goes to 35, I'll trim more. This move's getting a little crazy in 2 days, which is good. That's a good thing. But, being proactive in this market, making sure you get paid a little bit, there's nothing wrong with having trimmed, 30, 40% of your position into this. And then, my stop is essentially this 10-day moving average for now, which is already basically at my average. So, being smart about paying yourself. FSLR, you sexy beast. Well, gotta love when your positions are going vertical. Yeah, RYTM could be one tomorrow for sure. RYTM absolutely for tomorrow. We'll see. I probably wouldn't take it today, realistically. I've got too much exposure open today. Really? Holy cow.
Hey, Abby.
No. Oh, yeah, back at it. Good. Tried to shake everybody out. It's right back at it. Tennis ball action. I'm also watching this PCTY here.
It's been a while.
It's thin. I just don't need many. It's the nice part. Yeah, SGML. Monster. I got shaken out of this one too, which is unfortunate. Also, PCTY. Nice downtrend break on the daily. I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm getting a bit aggressive today, but it is what it is. I just got to take my entries, man. We'll see what sticks. EMPH2, come on, baby. Okay, more than enough exposure open, man. I can't imagine myself opening up anything else today. I've gone full dumbass for sure in one day. So we'll see. Yeah, SGML shook me out, man. That's a tough break too, because I really like that chart. I had I bought it right around here, like 2560s or some shit like that. 2560s, and then stopped out the very next day like a fool. And I really should have waited too. I should have waited to stop myself out. See if it was gonna, if this hourly candlestick was gonna close below that day's low, but nope. Instead, it did an undercut rally. I literally bottom ticked my sells, and then it came right fucking back. Yeah, I fucked that up pretty big myself. But it is what it is. You know, sometimes you gotta be a little bit more patient. Gotta extend the stop. Gotta, learn to read level 2. Instead, I just cut it. I just cut it. I just fucking cut it. Believe me, that's frustrating too, because I think I had like 5,000 shares. Or 6,000 shares, actually. Like, yeah, I think I literally had top tick this green candle. 2562, I think, was my average when I first bought it on 5,000 shares. And I cut myself out. Sucks. Sucks to suck, as they say. Sucks to suck.
TPII. TPII. LPNTNT. Rams. ENSP.
Do do do. All right, I feel like I've done too much today. I feel like I've done too much. Now it's just time to sit on the hands and see what sticks, see what doesn't. I officially got myself a damn near full portfolio here, so you don't need this many names, believe me. You don't need this many. Do 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 do. Yep. Yeah, I'm about to be done though. I got nothing else to do, dude. I've opened up plenty of positions here. I mean, I just got to manage what I have. There's really nothing left for me to do today. I don't even know if I would want to open up another position, dude. Like I said, I've gone full retard here today.
Mm-hmm.
That's plenty. Plenty.
Great fucking move that night.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much great move by everything. I just bought BSM today. A little. I mean, not as full size, but you know, FSLR, Wolf, NBIX, PCTY, EMPH. I mean, I have opened up fucking plenty. We'll see. We'll see what sticks, what doesn't.
What are you getting Wolf at?
About just about $112. Just over 112.
Indo and Oxy doing with them today?
Dude, yeah, they are.
Yeah, but LOI was just such a G call, bro.
Thank you, brother. I mean, it's a leading. It's got the potential to be a leading stock in my name. I mean, or in my opinion, it's, you know, this thing could go to 400. This thing could go to 400.
Oh, fucking $10 a share right now. It's beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, it can go to 400, dude. So, you know, those ads yesterday were perfect, and I didn't mind doing those ads because, you know, I had already trimmed at, you know, between 328, 330s, and then again at like, you know, like 326. So, you know, and I only had a quarter of the position left. It was a big ass position when I initially got in,
Yeah.
just because my risk was kind of small. So dollar wise, it was a big position. Like risk wise, it wasn't, but you know, dollar wise, it was really big. But yeah, we'll see. I don't see shit else for me to do. Literally, LLY's working great. CCJ's working great. IRDM's a monster. REGN's a monster. DV's finally got me green. CCR, and I mean, all my positions are literally flying right now. So for now, I feel like, you know, my eyes are in the right place, and I'll keep opening up exposure, or I'll just wait. You know, like I don't really see any perfect other setups I'd like to own. I would have liked to have owned PDD and Snow. Those are the only two, but you know, they kind of gapped up and got over where I'd like to have bought them. So really, at this point, you know, it's just a pass. And I'll probably just end up adding to what I already own down the road if they keep going. So we'll see. For now, I just chill. Anyway, guys, I am done for today. I don't see shit else for me to do, and I've bought all sorts of positions today. So I opened up 6 new positions. I don't see, you know, my degenerate self, but some of them are working fantastic. BSM, FSLR, Wolf, NBIX. But we'll really see what ends up sticking and what doesn't. And, you know, we'll go from there tomorrow. You know, but it's definitely nice to see things work, especially like this REGM and IRDM, Lily. I literally had some perfect fucking ads yesterday at these 1760s down here. Literally slapped the old bottom on this. So it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I keep alerts. I keep alerts and I keep my volume up. So if I hear alerts, but I'll walk the dogs. I'm gonna go eat lunch, walk the dogs, play with the dogs for a little bit, clean the apartment, check some emails, do other shit except sit here. But I'll keep alerts on, and then I've got alerts set on all my positions, to the downside or to the upside. So I've got alerts set, and then like other names like LLY. I know this isn't gonna come back down to where I put my ads on yesterday, and I know this isn't coming down to my average either. Not today. Like IRDM, I can give a shit less what it does for the rest of the day. DV similar scenario, NBIX similar scenario, BS like a lot of them, they're just fine. So, I've got alerts set. Look, if FSLR wants to come and break low a day, I'll get an alert. I'll run to my computer. But my alerts are turned up, and I don't just decide to sit. Some days I do, some days I do, but I get off my screens, walk my dogs, eat some food, and I like to read. So I spend a lot of time reading about shit that interests me. I just like to read during the trading day. I might be sitting at my desk, right? But I'm not trying to actively buy shit or get into anything or sell my positions. I'm not trying to do any of that. Once I'm in, I'm in. Stops are in place. I look to trim, into nice moves like I did into CCRN. That's it. Just want to manage what I own. Let it work as long as it'll work. And I do want to be proactive and smart about, trimming along the way, but
NBIX.
yeah, for the most part. Well, I like to read on some specific topics or, some trading theses that I might have, like the reason that I'm so big in CCJ and the reason that CCJ is my biggest position is because, I've got a big thesis for nuclear. So, I try to stay active on what's going on in that space. I do like reading books, so I like reading some trading books. Right now I'm reading this book called Peak. And that one's not really a trading book, but yeah, I just I just enjoy reading. I just reread The Alchemist a few weeks ago. That was a good one.
CRTV. CDTX.
Yeah. Peak by Anders. Yep, that's the one. Alchemist is one of my favorite books of all time. Maybe next to the Bible. The Bible's got a bunch of great stories, even if you're not Catholic. Yeah, I like Peak. Peaks a lot. Is a great book, and yeah, The Alchemist is one of the best books I've ever read ever. Tons of awesome life lessons in that book, honestly. Sometimes everything you need is already under your nose. I forgot to put Friday's recording on YouTube. All right. Let me see if I can Monday. Oh, Thursday. Oh, I did. Shit, I did. Thursday. What was that? 23? Was that 9/23? When was Friday? Oh, the 30th. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday the... Fucking what day was Friday? Friday the 30th? Let me see. I should have this. Show recordings. Here it is. Friday, 9/30/22. Okay. Alright, it's uploading. Yeah, Friday's Twitch stream's uploading. I forgot. I don't know why I messed up right there, but... Thanks for reminding me. That's IRDM, huh? It was really thin, but I bought it in 2 pieces. I might have to start doing that a little bit more often. Extending the stop, letting it work, adding some more. I mean, I guess I normally do that, but I don't really feel like I did. IRDM felt a little different for my entry. I'll have to go back and take a peek. Maybe good to review my own Twitch stream, honestly. Kind of go through there and see when the fuck I bought it. How I re-added. But honestly, everything's in. Friday stream's going up, brother, Buddha, so it'll be on there if you want to go back and review. I feel like you're in here most of the time anyway, so. And for anybody who isn't here, guys, don't be ashamed to ask, or don't be afraid to ask questions, all right? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. You know, do not be afraid to ask questions. Seriously. That's what I'm here for. I'm not streaming for me. Although I might go back and review my own videos every now and again, just to see how I executed or what I could have done differently. I mean, this is about as good of a journal as it's going to get, I feel like. So. Yeah, I don't see shit else. I got plenty aggressive today. Which, by the way, guys, I don't like getting aggressive in a downtrending market, but... you know, I mean, I was just seeing a lot of nice little setups, a lot of nice little cheat setups. You know, some real breakout setups. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what sticks. See what sticks, see what doesn't. CCJ still by far my largest positions, not even close. A 4-hour on this thing looks awesome too. 4-hour chart. Everything's starting to get lined up real cleanly. That's why I like it so much. Not to mention this daily, not a lot of overhead supply. You know, it's in this uranium sector, which you know, Cameco's pretty much one of the world's biggest players. I don't know. Would be nice to see this thing get to this upper trend line. But you know, who the fuck knows? I might have to do the thumb method here. Yeah, monthly on this thing is crazy too. Everything's just starting to get nice and clean on the monthly. It's been trending on the 20 for the longest time. Every time it pulls back, it's finding support on the rising 20. Last month, you know, came down to the rising 10. You know, held strong. Might be putting in an inside month this month. I have no idea, but yeah, I like it a lot. There's not a lot to hate about this name, honestly. So my average right now is 26.13. I bought it in 2 pieces. I bought it literally down here at 24.97 or 24.98 was like literally my average right down here. And then why? Because it was an undercut rally setup. So the sparking candle that finally got this move back in an uptrend was on 824, and the low was 24.70. On this day in which the market was tanking and felt a little oversold, it came and it broke that low by like 4 cents. As soon as it started to turn back up, I started to buy. And then as soon as it started to push back up, and pushed away far enough from my average, and I had like 24.90s, and then next thing we know we're at like 26.70s. I added when it took out this. I added on Wednesday when it took out Tuesday's high, and then brought my average up, and yeah, it's had me in the driver's seat ever since. I bought up here. I bought down here. I bought up here. It brought my average to 26.13s, and now we're just chilling. Again, my thesis on uranium's a big one, so I didn't trim or scalp it, or take profits on the way up the first time like a dipshit. Watched it come back on me, and that's just part of learning. I was up like, well over 6 figures, guys, and I watched 100 grand burn back, which was not fun. But I just relaunched it, and I've got a better average now than before, and a couple extra shares than what I had last time. So I got a couple extra. So I'm getting aggressive on it because I think that this can be a $15, $20 move, and could be could be like a 500K winner or something in that neighborhood, 300 to 500K winner, depending on how patient I really am. But I don't see that there's any reason this thing can't go to 38, and then you start zooming back out even more. This monthly looks righteous. The whole uranium space was in this monthly downtrend for years, literally like 5-6 years, and then finally started to work its way back over on the monthly, and it's going sideways. It's consolidating really nicely, and on the daily it looks like it's starting to get its act together, and it's Cameco. They're the only ones, in my opinion, that have enough liquidity and are big enough for institutions to get involved in this space. So they've got a big float, and if institutions want to get involved in this space, this will be the name. And I kind of got this 43 level up here that I think this can go to possibly, and that would be breaking this upper trend line, so in the 40s. I would think that would be a potential spot to take some, peel some, and who knows, all the time frames are lining up. The monthly looks good, the daily looks good, the weekly looks good. All the fucking time frames are starting to really shape up here. So and again, I'm not going to argue with the price. I'm going to just stop myself out if I have to, and I'm going to have to keep watching gains burn back if I have to. But I've got a big thesis for what is coming for nuclear. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, it'll be a career win. If I'm wrong, I'm just gonna have to watch gains go back again. But I'm not letting these green trades turn red on me. I'm just watching money go back that was never mine. It's only yours when you sell for profit, but I'm willing to watch that profit burn back in exchange for the big dummy-sized move that I think is possible for these uranium names. So yeah, it's well over 10%. It's about right now it's about a 30% position. It's a right now it's a 700K position. So I have 25,000 shares. So it is kind of uncomfortable watching $10,000 swing around every 40 cents, but you know, it just is what it is. Not really too worried about the money. I'm just, you know, following my moving averages, and I've got a thesis built into my head of what, you know, the name can do, and you know, I don't see any reason why this thing can't go to, you know, $10 above my average and break all-time highs. You know, there's not a lot of supply on this name. You know, it's down 13% from all-time highs. You know, there's a lot of nuclear talk going around recently. You know, I mean, there's no reason this thing can't get to this upper trend line somewhere, maybe, or like I said, the monthly even to 43. You know, and if it gets to 43, I mean, you know, yeah, 60% move. You know, about $15 from my average. You know, could be a really nice winner. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, you know, at least 250K would be my guess, and that would be a PR trade for me. But the only way you're going to get a PR trade is with a good thesis, a good entry, proper size, you know, and patience. You know, I am a little touched oversized, but you know, I didn't buy that full position right away. You know, I bought it literally at the perfect spot the first time, and then I added. But you know, Lily afforded me to get aggressive. Oh, Wolf, very nice. Nice scoop up on Wolf on my end. Wolf's working great. FSLR looks cool. BSM looks fine. Yeah, LLY allowed me to get very aggressive in anything I do. I mean, LLY was an insane trade, guys. I had a big size. I had a $1 million position in LLY when I bought it, because my risk was small. You know, I was willing to eat the 10 grand on this thing, and then, you know, I literally caught a $20 move in same night. So Wolf, now we're talking. Cooking with grease, this thing is. You know, and do I think it's worth taking CCJ on a weekly pennant pattern if it breaks? I mean, look, I'm willing to add to CCJ too. Like, you know, I might want like another 10 or 15,000 shares, but you know, I need to just see a clean supply area. You know, if it pushes and goes green today, great. You know, and hopefully it kind of just hangs out under 29 for a day or two. You know, right underneath this little wick right here. If it would do that, you know, and just kind of get to this area and then go sideways for like 2 days, and then next week buy, you know, a rip over 29, that would be awesome. And then, you know, similar deal, you know, as this thing's getting through this downtrend line, you know, maybe buy a little bit more as it's breaking, you know, 30, 31, or should I say, you know, this 31 range. If it's doing that, you know, add a little bit more. Yeah, I want to bring my average up into the trade that's working. I don't want to bring my average down into something that's not. You know, I want to be in the driver's seat the entire time, but when I first take my initial position, you know, I don't want to just up and open 40,000 shares and then just be wrong, you know, for 50 cents and eat a 20K loss. Like, that's not the objective here. You know, I would rather, you know, open, you know, 10,000 shares, and then if I'm wrong, you know, eat a $4,000 loss, and then add into it as I'm right, and then add into it as I'm right again, and, you know, never seeing red after that. You know, then you know, we're good. You know, we're chilling. But you know, buying everything all at once, you know, especially if you want to get a really big position, because you know, the chart's working for you and it's giving you multiple little tight pivots, etc., then, you know, you can keep adding. Like, I much rather add into a winner than to add into a loser any day of the week. Tesla, what the fuck happened there? Dude, this thing is moving like a small cap, dude. What the fuck is that? What in the fuck was that? My goodness, dude, these things are moving like small caps. EMPH, PCTY. But yeah, I'm not going to get any more aggressive with opening up positions right now. I've got too much open. And at this point, stops on a lot of things like IRDM is above my average, which is nice. Some like my stop on CCJ, this trade won't go red on me. I mean, that'd be impossible. Same with LLY, same with REGN. VRTX can go red, and I could even take a loser on this one. DV won't go red on me anymore. Stops at break even. CCRN, same deal. NBIX, stop will be at low of day, so at worst, tiny red. Wolf, same deal, only tiny red possible. FSLR, same deal. So really, a lot of my trades, if you buy them properly and you buy them right, Musk said to propose to Twitter to proceed with deal at 54.20. Oh wow, what a fucking jackass! Does that mean Twitter's flying? Oh wow. Fuck. Musk said to propose to Twitter to proceed with deal at $54.20. Is this halted? Twitter's halted. Holy shit. I knew this thing had a nice fucking chart the other day too. Fuck, man, over 42. Right down here. Yeah, like here was your entry. It's fucking perfect. Look at supply, and some more supply. As soon as it broke over that, and then your stop should have been at low of day. Had you done that, your stop was never hit. Had you bought right here, towards the end of the day, your stop was never hit, and now you're well in the driver's seat on something like this. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Yep. News typically follows trend, huh? We say it all the time in here. News follows the trend. Oh yeah, this IRDM is just a monster. Gap up and a chunky green day today too, but on like no volume, man. That's the shittiest part. Fortunately, I'm already sitting in there. And REGN looks way better than VRTX too. Thought I'd throw that out there. But everything else looks amazing. Literally everything else looks unbelievable. No stress. Things are leaving cleanly from pivot areas. This is super tight. If I'm wrong, my losses like in something like this are so small. $250 name, $3 risk. I mean, and I own 500 shares. So like, I'm not even thinking about a chart like this. Same with like, EMPH. $3.50 risk, and I got 800 shares. Nothing crazy. BSM was a little thin, so I had to size down. Couldn't even take half size, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, guys, it's the beauty of when you buy something properly in a healthy market, and you keep your stops tight. Your risk is like nothing. Just add into as things are working for you. But yeah, CCJ is one of those, man. If it can just get up to 29 and then tighten up just underneath that level, I want to keep getting aggressive with this name. It's a name I think can go see 40. A 20% move over its 52-week highs. I could see that easy. 32.49's its 52-week high. I could see 20% above that, no problem. Yeah, about $39. I could see that for sure. Oh man, Twitter. Holy shit. What a fucking gap up. Holy shit.
Wow.
Man, it makes me wish I'd have grabbed some at fucking 41s. I mean, there's your 20%. As soon as it came out of that halt, would have been a perfect time to sell half that position. Or more. Yeah, sell half. I mean, that would have been the right thing to do. Sell half right out of that halt out. From the entry, 20%. It's fucking perfect. Sell half, trail the rest. Wow. Well, nothing I can do there. The entry was down here. But I definitely, if I were in that, I would have sold some immediately out of that halt 20% move. Immediately. Wouldn't have even thought twice. IRDM, REGN. All my positions look fine. Everything looks great, guys. So I'm gonna be done for today, and we'll be back on tomorrow. Stops are set in place. You know, there's really nothing I can do now. I'm already in my shit, so it's just a matter of waiting. It's a wait and see kind of thing. We'll see how everything kind of looks, you know, by day's end and then tomorrow. But I'm gonna go take the dogs out, eat some breakfast, or lunch, I should say, since I didn't eat breakfast. Benny, man, I'm glad you're in here, brother. It's nice to have you in here too, dude. Been meaning to catch up with you. Hope you're doing well. And don't forget, guys, anybody who's in here, if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's why I'm here. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your days. Don't do anything crazy. Don't get aggressive, you know, into names that are already above their average daily range. So yeah. Don't worry, Benny. You'll be doing great, man. Be patient with yourself. You know, this shit is difficult. You know, be patient with yourself, dude, and things will be easier. Just remember, sizing is everything. You know, it's one thing to understand a nice setup. It's another thing to, you know, wait for the market and then size properly. You know, wait for the market to be pushing up. You know, there's a reason why all my positions are working today. It's because the market's pushing up. You know, that's half the battle. This CCRN, what in the actual fuck is going on here? If this thing gets to 35, I'll also be trimming again a little bit more. So just manage your positions accordingly. You know, don't let good gains turn into red, and don't get impatient with your stuff. Just pay yourself little pieces on the way up and continue to be patient with what you own. Sorry about that, Paul. Yeah, sometimes when you see a nice setup like this, make a new 52-week highs, you just got to grab your balls and buy. That's my best recommendation. Squeeze tight and buy. That's all you can do. You know, even I felt like I was chasing the thing up a little bit yesterday. You know, because I had $2 risk on it, and it's a $30-some stock. So, you know, I was taking a fairly uncomfortable, or should I say not uncomfortable, I was taking a fairly aggressive entry, you know, yesterday. But, you know, it's already shown its hand. It's got insane fundamentals, and there's a reason why charts go up, guys. It's you know, it's a majority. It's because of their fundamentals. So, you know, understanding that helps you pull the trigger. You know, there's a reason why this chart looks the way it does, you know, forming a volatility contraction pattern. You know, higher low, higher low, higher low. You know, undercut the 200, instantly reclaimed, put in a higher low, held the 200, held the 50, holding the 20. I mean, what more do you need to see? Getting tight just underneath supply. I mean, this is textbook what you call volatility contraction. Every time it comes down, can't come down as far. Yeah, it's because buyers are stepping in. And anybody short any of this eventually ends up covering, and then, you know, new bulls come in, and that's how you end up getting a move like this. And like I said, this thing starts to tap 35, and I'll trim just a little touch more, and then I'll leave with myself with, you know, about 60% of my original position. And then that's it. And there'll be nothing left to do. Just continue to monitor what we own. LLY. LLY, man. What a nice scoop. IRDM. Yep. Nothing else for us to do. So anyway, guys, till tomorrow, I will see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your day.